Hi, everybody. This is If Yarn Could Talk with Mooney and Vicky and Asia and Chloe.
But you can't see them too. It's just the Me and Mooney podcast now.
Yeah.
Mooney, what do you want to talk about today?
Mooney, did you make an outline?
Mooney says, I want to talk about my favorite snimps of the week. Oh my gosh, and I would oh my gosh.
His favorite
I'd
snip
like
of
to
the
kiss
week is
Chloe. Oh my gosh, what they want. Okay.
Oh, so what are you working on this week, Asia?
A hat.
A hat.
It's the first time I've done ribbing.
Yeah, it looks nice. Did you close it up so it's folded like that? Nice.
I did indeed.
That's cool. That row probably took a while, huh? To get through all the loops.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I also don't know if I did it like fully even, but
it looks good. It
It'll
looks very
be
even.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Nice. I'm working on a new dragon scales thing. We're just gonna call it a thing right now. Isn't it pretty?
Oh, you have an now.
No, it's not an it's just a secret.
Well,
it's a secret. You know how cats supposedly like circles? Like if you put circles on the floor or hula hoops on the floor, the cats will just go in them.
Yes.
So we thought it might be fun to do a little test to put a circle and a triangle and see which ones the cats went for first.
Yeah, kind of like a shape test.
Little shape psychological test.
Yes.
Because, they have to do something. They get a lot of treats at the end of this. That is exactly where your crochet hook goes. So this is our rectangle. This is just a swatch.
Yeah. What is that?
A swatch, Asia.
I don't know what that is.
And then this is something I'm working on. Actually, I'm going to put this over here so I can protect the yarn. This is the circle. And Chloe is right here, so we might.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be very, very long until we discover someone's preference.
Maybe.
I'm betting about 30 seconds.
Yeah, she's not paying any attention, though.
I know, she is.
She's looking for head kisses.
Oh my gosh.
She always looks for head kisses. She puts her head right there, and if you don't kiss her, she smushes her head up into your face so you kiss her. It's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cute.
Often purring.
Always purring.
That's
his Chloe. The always purr machine.
I heard once that... Jesus. I heard once that the Guinness World Record of loudest purrs was a cat who had the purr that was measured to be the decibel of a low power motorcycle. So like a moped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I feel like Chloe's purr could challenge that.
She's definitely not a hybrid.
She's definitely not a hybrid.
No, she's quite loud.
She is
might
quite
be a hybrid.
Fuel efficient. She's not very fuel efficient.
She
needs lots of fuel. Needs lots of fuel for Chloe to run.
So we've got some new stuff in the store this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you want to see too, Chloe? Here we go. What do you think? She say these are not treats. These are not treats. These are not treats. These are new colors of Duo.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is
Ooh.
our
Duo.
Plied Noro yarn.
Chloe is really enthralled by your Duo.
Yeah, she's really into it. She's very interested in what's new in the store.
Yes, she is.
This yarn is so nice. I'm actually working on a pattern for it because it's a little wild. Like you were saying the other day that it's kind of hard for you to visualize how yarns are going to come out. And that's pretty common, actually. Like most people kind of say that.
Well, yeah.
So I figured I better get a little sample going so you guys could kind of see how these guys play out. I did make a Junction 14 hat out of it, but that was like for me. It wasn't actually even to show. It was just because I wanted it.
Yeah.
So it came out really nice in that, but I'm going to do a pattern all on its own for this. Just a little hat pattern, combining it with some Juniper Moon Farm Moonshine. So it's going to be delightful and soft. What do you think of that, Chloe?
Chloe gives it 5 out of 5 purrs.
Oh, that's a lot of purrs. We also got a new yarn in from Louisa Harding.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got this. It is definitely starting to become spring. Want to check this one out?
Oh, she definitely does.
Yeah.
You know, Mooney's not the only snimpy boy around here. She's a snimpy girl.
So this is Louisa Harding Provence.
Ooh.
And this is cotton, viscose, and linen. So super springy, summery fiber. Actually haven't gotten to knit with it yet. Have you gotten to use it yet?
I have not, but I have, it does seem familiar, as they did also send me some of that in our Knitting Fever
Big box.
box. So we might have to show that off a little bit at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna. And you know, I haven't knit with it, and I confess I don't really like to knit with linen. She sat on the rectangle. Chloe, you are so contrary.
My goodness.
So
She is pure cat.
Contrary. Oh my goodness. She flattened this now.
She chews. Oh, wow. She really chews rectangle, you guys. But that, you know what? That kind of tracks for Chloe. Chloe loves a box.
It's true. Chloe
that she
does
can
love a
stretch
box.
out
Yeah,
into a circle.
she
into the shape of her.
Yeah. She likes a really
Circular.
tight box that can just explode under the weight of her.
Round.
Yeah. Yeah. She does not like to conform to the shapes. No.
No. Chloe does not conform. Everything conform to Chloe.
That's right. And she's still purr.
And she's still purr.
So this is gorgeous, isn't it, guys?
Yes, it's really pretty. I almost said she's really pretty.
Because
Chloe is really pretty. But this is also very pretty.
But I haven't knit with this. I think it'll be okay to knit with. I don't love to knit with linen things that much, so I might crochet with this first go out, because I feel like it will be really nice to crochet stuff with, like little summery tops and stuff like that.
Ooh, well, that might be
your job.
My aim there then, because you know I said last week too that I'm trying to go for a little bit lighter of a fabric in some of my current ideas.
You're starting to sense that you're not going to be freezing soon.
Yeah. Even though I do generally freeze a lot.
You do.
But potentially even in the summer, and you know, air conditioning and stuff.
76 degrees, and then you're cold, then you're hot.
Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I also do like to layer as well. So gotta have the potential.
Yeah, so this would be really pretty. You should definitely try this out soon. Maybe
you'll
get to it before me.
I think I've got some plans. Just like the Beatrix. We have plans.
We have some plans.
A brewing.
So yeah, those are our 2 new yarns this week. And I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of a couple new patterns and kits that are coming, although there's 3 of them, so I'm not going to release them all for this podcast, because that's just way too many pattern releases for one day. That's insanity. But they're all coming soon. So the first one is
a preview. Coming soon to own.
Yep. So this is, you guys saw me working on this.
Wow.
The meditation cushion that I was making. I absolutely love this. And it works very well. I almost put this out as the circle, but the cats seem a little weirded out by the height of it.
Yeah, that does track.
Yeah, they don't tend to go for like little pedestal things.
No.
But since you didn't go for this circle, Chloe, I might try it. Just see what happens.
Let's see.
So this is really fun. This takes Noro Carry-On, 2 skeins of Noro Carry-On, 2 skeins of Noro Malvinus. And then you felt it, and it's really going to be sturdy. So that's what you want, and something you're going to sit on.
Yes.
Isn't it pretty? I really like it.
Yeah, I really like it. I really like the colors. I mean, I said that last week, but it's very pretty in its true form.
Yeah, and I feel like this one is the proper size. I think that's a good size. I mean, I guess people with tiny little butts might think it's a little big, but do you think?
No.
No? What do you think, Chloe?
I don't know if Chloe is the right person to ask for a tiny butt.
As mentioned before, Chloe does have a little badonkadonk.
She's a little bit donks. It's probably right in the frame.
She's such a good
Wow.
So that's our first little pattern sneak peek. The second one is a baby blanket. I didn't even wave in the end yet, you guys. This is, you'll probably recognize this. This is our Mad Waves pattern. And this is just like a little car seat size. I'll size it up for like other sizes too. But this is Juniper Moon Farm Cumulus Rainbow. I'm not over this pattern yet, guys. So I have a few more things to put it on, apparently.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, isn't it cute? And like, it's just really fun to make because like each row is a little different. If you can see it over Chloe, my arms aren't that long.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, as we said once in a video, we should normalize making baby blankets for our cats as well.
I know. The cats would actually really like this if I were to tuck them in. And the last little sneak peek pattern is actually a pattern re-release. And our lovely Lisa made this sample. Isn't this pretty? This is our monsoon shawl.
Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I love the colors. Wow. Oh, Chloe likes it too. Oh, Chloe loves it.
So
good job, Lisa.
This is made with Lance Denord watercolor sock and Queensland Kathmandu fine.
Kathmandu.
Kathmandu.
Yep.
So we're gonna put up kits for this when we re-release it. It's very hard to say. But yeah, it's a fun one. It's a little bit of a smaller, like a springier kind of shawlette. And it's called Monsoon. And you know, that's the season we're in. So I think this one will be coming pretty soon.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rain.
So this week we are talking about DK yarns. And I have to tell them, Asia was taking notes. And you know, she was just typing what I was saying. So I think it was just like a brain thing.
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know at all? Okay, she's just going to fess up. So I said, yeah, we're talking about DK yarns this week. And I looked up at the screen and it said decay, D-E-C-A-Y. Which makes me so hilarious that a gauge of yarn would be called decay. I mean, they're called strange things, I can see. So yeah. DK, D-K.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was decay. Like is in decay.
Like whenever I've said this, you have like in your head thought decay.
Yeah. Well, I've read it and I thought, oh, that's probably just short for decay.
Why did you have a rationale in your head?
No, I didn't.
I thought maybe it was like, oh, it's thinner. I mean, maybe you didn't know it was thinner. I don't know. I was trying to come up with a rationale. And I honestly thought you just heard me say DK and you just typed what you heard. Anyway, DK stands for double knitting.
She's judging me so harshly right now.
I think it's so funny. Come on, you guys. Decay. We're talking about decay.
I literally made a pun about it. I don't think she got it. I literally was like, oh, like, how about we do something along the lines of like, oh, mushrooms because they're decaying. And she was like, and I don't think you understood until you looked at the screen and saw decay.
I did not.
Instead of decay.
I was just like, what do mushrooms have to do with decay yarn?
Maybe what I have to remember now instead of decay, because that's what it is in my brain and it's like I can't like separate it now. Maybe what I need to like rewire my brain as is like maybe I need to think of Donkey Kong instead.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't make sense that it's smaller. Anyway, decay.
We're talking about DK.
DK.
Double knitting. It means double knitting.
Oh.
And that doesn't...
Or Donkey Kong.
You know, unfortunately, I think it's kind of used to mean something. But it doesn't really mean any. It doesn't... Like, double knitting is a technique. And you don't necessarily use DK yarn for double knitting. You can, but you don't have to. Like when we were in our double knitting class, we used chunky Because double knitting is really slow and tedious, so we give them chunky to give them hope of finishing.
That's fair.
But yeah, but it's called DK. Oh, but that reminds me, Ellen asked a good question about like plies and what it varies, like when a pattern calls for 2-ply, 4-ply. So the plies kind of used to mean something. Like 4-ply used to be worsted, which was last week, number 4, right?
Okay.
But and then like I guess 3-ply would have been DK Sport. Those two are quite interchangeable. We'll talk about that in a minute. And 6-ply was chunky and 2-ply was fingering weight. But the thing is, now there's all these more interesting ways of making yarn. So like Noro is always a single ply. It's a 1-ply yarn. So you would think, oh, that means it's really skinny. But as you know, Noro is not often skinny. Sometimes it's a little skinny, but they don't even have a fingering weight. It's not skinny, really. And then you can have like 8 plies squished in to make like a really tight sock yarn or a lace weight. And then you have these chainette plies, which are a whole different creature. So DK used to be 3-ply. So if you have like an old pattern, it might say 3-ply and then you would use DK.
Speaking of old patterns, we might have a little fun activity later.
We do. We have something for you guys to vote on. So that's sort of what they mean with the plies. Yeah, an older pattern. And it's also funny because like Australians and English, they often say different things too. And honestly, off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I feel like DK is like worsted in a Australian sort of knitting lingo, or used to be. I'm not even sure, so don't take my word for that. But the best thing to do is like look at the little gauge thing, and if it says 22 stitches over 4 inches, you're definitely in DK.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Louisa Harding Provence. That's one of them. This is Ella Rae Eco Tweed. This is a really nice one.
Ooh, very pretty color.
Yep, this is a wool nylon blend. Yeah. I use this in our sweater pattern called Mist, which is a really pretty pattern where you hold a mohair with it and then you don't on the cable that runs up the back, so the cable really stands out. And so it's DK, but then made heavier by the worsted, by the mohair, which is really a fun way to go.
That is fun.
Yeah. I don't know if we've talked too much about how you can just sort of subtly adjust the gauge of things by like holding them with something else, or you can drastically affect the gauge by like holding this doubled. You'd probably get kind of a Aran weight, a lighter and bulky, like 4 stitches to the inch.
I've heard that's also very good for stash busting.
It is, yeah.
Is to hold yarns together and make it, then it's also bulky, and then it goes faster, and then you get through more of it faster. So if you have some stuff that you are like, I'll just like get through it.
That's the theme of all our twice knit patterns. You remember those, Asia? The giant balls.
Yes, yes, I do. I do indeed.
And that's the way you just make a clean sweep of tons of bins of yarn if you want to clear them out, no matter what they are. So yeah, that's Ella Rae Eco Tweed, really nice. This I have to keep away from Chloe because it's cashmere. Do you see her interested all of a sudden? She knows. She was not really paying attention to me, and then I pulled this cashmere out and she was like, huh?
I really gotta say, Chloe is a hardcore contender for trying to beat out the original audience here.
I know.
She's really
She got up for it, and you cannot have this.
She is very excited.
Oh my goodness.
So, well, she wants to have it all on her face and everything.
Yeah. So this is our reclaimed cashmere. I make this from old gently used sweaters, wash them a million times, rip them apart, ply them into new fun colors. And they are, I was just telling somebody this today, they are weirdly kind of 6-ply, if you can believe it.
Okay.
Because most cashmere commercially made sweaters they're 2 plies, 2 very thin plies. And then I ply 3 sweaters together to get around a DK weight. So that makes 6, right? 6 plies. That's why the plies don't really make any sense.
Once again, you started saying numbers and I focused on Chloe. Yeah. But yeah, sure.
This is probably one of the nicest DKs you will ever use, and I will warn you, it spoils you, and you don't want to knit with anything else after you've knit with it. It's really bad whenever I do a cashmere pattern.
Yeah. Cashmere is so nice.
Oh gosh, it's so good.
It is warm though, so it is a little, you know.
It's warm, but it's light.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just, you can wear a whole cashmere sweater and it doesn't feel like there's anything on you, but you're incredibly warm. So here is Lance de Nord Matera. I think we talked about its slightly heavier one, heavier sister, Vasto, last week.
Yes.
This is such a great yarn. Another one that I knit at like multiple needle sizes, and it really looked fabulous at all the needle sizes, from like a 3 up to like, I think I went up to like a 9. It's crazy. So that's really nice. All wool, superwash wool. And we have some cotton, some Cirrus Rainbow.
I really like that one. Show the middle bit.
Yes.
Look at that.
That
one is also very, very Eastery, but like in the best way possible.
And interestingly, I kind of think this one is a little more sport weight, but I decided to include it with the DKs because it thinks it's DK.
That's interesting to me because from like first glance, to me it looks thicker than the Provence.
I know, isn't that funny?
It is very strange.
Well, yards per grams, it is much thinner. Not much, but it's thinner. But when I've used this, like when I made the hoodie in the clouds, thank you for linking that last time, Asia. Like I used a pretty small hook. I think I used like an E hook or something, which is getting into sport weight territory. Anyway, I kind of think it's more of a sport weight, but here's the thing. Sport and DK, they're largely interchangeable. Like most of the time you can get gauge. Like if your pattern says you need a DK yarn, you can almost always get gauge. With a sport weight, you might have to go up like 1 needle, sometimes not even. They're very, very close. So yeah.
That's nice.
We're doing sport weight next week.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I got that one. I got sport.
She got sport. So this is Ella Marmel. This is a cool one because it's a little nubbly. It's a little thick and thin. But you're mostly going to get about a DK gauge on it. Thick and thin yarns are an interesting question for gauges because it's really... We don't stock too many of them, honestly, because they stress a lot of people out because measuring your gauge or figuring out if your thing is going to fit is kind of ridiculously difficult if a yarn is too thick and thin. Like you can imagine, right? Like the stitch is huge, the stitch is tiny.
Right.
Yeah. So, but this one's just subtly a little textured, thick and thin, and it changes colors. Really pretty. It's a great summery fiber.
Yeah. So
DK yarns are great for lighter weight sweaters. The superwash ones are great for baby things. Nice. They actually are good for like if you made a double knit hat or something, you probably wouldn't want it so thick. So like a DK can be actually nice for double knitting or decaying,
Yeah, or you can just sit there and decay with your DK. Make some mushrooms. Make some mushroom amigurumi from your, Yeah.
I would say sport and DK are actually my favorite gauges of yarns. Yeah, even though I feel like I use worsted a lot, that's more because there's a lot more worsted options, and I feel like people, like customers who come into the store, like worsted a little more. So I use worsted a lot, but there's just, a size 6 needle, size 5 needle, like they feel really nice in your hands. It's not so tiny that it's fingering and going to take you forever. But yeah, so that's our DK yarns. Yeah, next week we're doing sport weight yarns, and sport are funny too because, if they're actually sport weight, they're almost fingering. There's so little variation when you get down to these like skinnier gauges. It's like how needles, a size, I'm going to do it wrong because I'm bad at the millimeters, but when you're down in the zeros, the ones, the twos, there's only 1/4 of a millimeter different than from those needle sizes. So it's very small differences, right? But then when you get up to like 10 and a half, 11, like 10 and a half is a 6.5 millimeter and 11 is an 8 millimeter. Like that's a whole millimeter and a half. That's huge. So, just when you get down into the tiny, the variations are small.
Yes, the micro crocheters.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And the micro knitters, have you seen those too? Like the people who make the little sweaters that are like as big as your fingertip.
Oh my
like
gosh.
full color work sweaters.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. It's not for me. I mean, I guess it would be fun to be like, I knit a sweater. But you'd probably be blind after it.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think that my eyes could handle it. We've already got some lenses here, to say the least.
We have one more little fun activity for you guys today.
We do indeed.
Mm-hmm. So remember a few weeks ago, I brought out some of my old work basket magazines to, delight and horrify Asia and to make her realize that even though the world is a little on the bad track, at least some things are better, like the food.
Like the food.
Like the food. So this week we both have one.
Yes.
Where's yours?
Mine is over here.
And you guys are going to have to vote for which one of us found the grossest recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to hear my first contender?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'll just tell you the title. Peanut butter baked ham steak. Yeah. So for this recipe, you need 1/4 cup of peanut butter. You need 1 pound ham steak. You need 1/4 cup of crushed corn flakes. 1/4 cup of dark brown sugar. A little bit of dry mustard and some vinegar. So yeah, peanut butter.
Okay.
Peanut butter ham. We're vegetarians, so it's been a long time since I had ham, but I just can't. Peanut butter and ham.
No.
No.
I've never had ham. I don't need to know that.
So, do you have a contender?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear yours.
Mine is fruit salad.
Okay. I mean, that sounds reasonable.
It does, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Well, would you like to hear the ingredients?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, first we're gonna start with 1 package of lime flavored gelatin. And 1 cup of very hot water. Very hot, as they say. 1 cup of honey, or 1/4 cup of honey, not a whole
I was
cup.
gonna say a whole cup of
That'd be
honey.
a lot of honey.
Wowza.
A little bit of salt.
Mm.
1/2 cup of dairy sour cream.
Mm.
Ooh, and coming in at 1 cup of diced celery.
Mm. Yeah, limey celery.
We're not done.
Really.
1 cup
creamy.
of seedless grapes, halved.
Okay.
Make sure they're halved.
Make sure they're halved.
Because
might be ruined.
you might choke otherwise.
Yeah.
1 package of raspberry flavored gelatin.
Oh, more gelatin.
Yes, more gelatin. And another cup of very hot water. 1 cup of honey sweetened cranberry jelly.
Oh, okay.
And to finish it off, we've got just a tablespoon of lemon juice.
So just to be clear, in this fruit salad, the only actual fruit was grapes? Just checking. Okay.
Yeah, but don't worry, they hit the other fruit groups too, because don't worry, we have celery.
We have celery, grapes, lime, raspberry, sour cream. Don't forget.
Oh,
sour
and the
cream.
honey.
And the honey. Yeah, that's delicious.
Yeah. Oh, and unmold it on a bed of crisp greens.
Oh,
Delicious. With
those
honey sweetened sour cream.
Oh. You have a strong contender there, Asia. Gelatinous food.
Yeah, that's always what you want in your food, is you really want it to be like just gelatinous and...
Yeah. Jiggly. Yeah.
Especially salad.
Yeah.
screw crunchy salad. You don't want that nice little crunch in there.
No.
Make it all Jell-O.
Right, you don't want textures. You just want Jell-O with some blobs in it. I mean, a lot of, we used to have to go to like church potlucks, and there were a lot of those Jell-O mold things there.
Must have been a great way to lose weight.
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, even then, even when I was little, it would make me.
Yeah, because who would want that? Especially not children.
But like, people felt like it was special. Like, I don't know.
They were wrong.
Well, see, things are better now.
Yeah.
Not everything, but there's not a lot of Jell-O molds being made, and hopefully they will not come back.
Yeah, the only way that I ever have had Jell-O is with it injected highly with alcohol, and I prefer to keep it that way.
As most people of your generation.
Yeah.
And really mine too, for the most part.
Yeah. Because that's where it's meant to be. If it's meant to be anywhere, you need to have got a whole lot of distraction as well along with it in your system. And I feel like when you have a Jell-O shot, like the pure taste of nail polish remover that it usually tastes like usually overpowers the consistency of the Jell-O.
Yeah.
Most of the
true.
time.
Yeah.
So really, I think that's
At
the
least
only
it cuts
acceptable
the
way.
sweetness a little bit too. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. I thought it was getting to be about time. We can't make these pets wait forever.
It's true.
But while we give these guys their foods, so we are participating in the Knit for Food Knit-a-thon. I'm gonna give Asia the link so that you can donate if you want, and if you send me your receipt, I will be more than happy to send you a free pattern of your choice of one of our patterns. So absolutely do that. It's a great cause, for people who are hungrier than these cats.
Yeah, and that's a pretty crazy line because these cats
And
are
definitely,
clearly starving and they've
definitely not as
just been
spoiled.
rescued off of the streets.
Yeah.
Of a fully abandoned island somewhere, that's never been discovered by humans before. Because that's how hungry these cats are.
They're starving.
Yes.
So
But, if you want to help
help people who are actually hungry
starving.
and not like spoiled cats, then go to the link and donate with our team. That would be so great.
Yeah.
Thank you if you do that. And on March 23rd, we're going to have some extended hours and some fun stuff in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully everybody will be knitting or finishing off some baby sweaters for the Beth Israel NICU. Molly picked up the first batch, and they've already been being put to good use. They're really happy to have them, and it's really nice of you to everybody who's doing that. We really appreciate it.
We need to figure out what these yarns would say.
Oh
Maybe
my
the cats
goodness.
can help since they're so invested now.
This one is the cashmere. It would say, "Save me from Chloe! Save me! Here she comes! Boop boop!"
You know what this Provence is saying?
What?
Well, a certain date is coming up, and it might be saying that there might be some gold at the end of the rainbow.
Oh. It is very rainbowy.
It is very rainbowy.
Follow that yarn to your nearest pot of gold.
Yeah, and if you want to skip a couple months, we'll go for Pride. There we go.
So that's it from us, guys. The cats are full.
Mhm.
I mean, they're not full. They're never full.
They're never
I
full.
just put away the treats, so they've given up.
Chloe's really done a very good job
She did a great
doing
job.
things with this swatch,
Chloe-
whatever that
Chloe
means.
really wanted to podcast today. She's been here the whole time.
Yes, Chloe was very involved, and she is very happy to be involved. So make sure you show your appreciation for the Queen Chloe.
Yeah, and don't forget to vote on which were the worst of those recipes.
Mm-hmm.
Fruit salad or peanut butter ham steak.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. Gross. So
Uh-huh.
if you like this video, give us a little thumbs up.
Yep. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you can hit the notification bell to be notified when we post stuff
And there's links in the description for the knit-a-thon and stuff like that.
and all the rest of the stuff we talked about today.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.